Hey, you guys, I want to talk about something really quickly. Um, I saw a thumbnail of a video, and sometimes when I see a thumbnail of a video, before I hear everything they have to say, I like to say my piece on just what I get, not the thumbnail, but the title of a video. I like to say my piece just on based on the title, and not reacting to somebody else's opinion because people have a right to their opinions. I try not to, if they say something, I try not to get in to what they say and break down everything they say because I feel like people have their own minds. So I saw a title of a video talking about how the Latinos are not hiring black people. Uh, Let me say something. I'm trying to understand this because Latinos won't hire white people either. They're going to take care of each other. And what I mean by I live in California, right? So I took a job from a temp agency in Rancho Cucamonga, and it was called something plastics, right? I had to take a little temporary job before I started back doing my regular career, right? Um, and it was nothing but mostly Spanish speaking people. There's barely anybody who spoke English, but the person who was the boss is a Mexican man too. Okay. Um, Let me tell you something, the difference between the Latino community and the black community. They build up they build up their communities. I'm not going to blame them if they wouldn't. Let me tell you something. Yeah, it's not good to discriminate, but that has been a reality for a very long time all over the world. All over the world, even if you go to Africa. Okay, even because there's a lot of black Americans that go to Africa and talk about the residents of not every part of Africa is a continent. Okay, so but certain parts of Africa where black people sometimes get treated worse than they would in Europe, or just any other places where you think they would be more racist, is they get treated worse in certain parts of Africa. Okay, that lets you know it's not about skin color either. But I want to say this: black people have been here a long time, and they have had time to build up their community. I feel like this, and Claude Anderson has said this many, many times, so I'm not going to take full credit for it. Ever since after the civil rights movement, after 1968, a lot of things have gone down with black people. A lot of things have gone down with black people. Something is going on where uh, because of the end of segregation, not to say I'm glad that there has been an end of segregation because I don't really care for segregation, but at the same time, something is going on in the minds of black people that they don't have this sense of community like everybody else. Mexicans don't have to be discriminated against. They can integrate with white people all they want to, but they have this sense of community in their minds, right? In their minds, they have this sense of unity, this sense of togetherness. Even if they have infighting, they do stuff against each other. They big on that black magic. Like, I've had a lot of Mexican patients, and they talk a lot about stuff that's been going on, so they get a lot of stuff that way, but that's Africans, that's a lot of, that's Asians, that's all of them. Okay, it's always going to be some infighting within the community. Okay, it's a lot of murders. Okay, you know, a lot of mistreatment of women. Okay, everywhere. So they got their own problems, let me say that. But as far as a community, they have a sense of still wanting to have a strong community. In the black community, it seems like mostly it's the black woman who cares about the community. But the problem I have with the black women is they don't take care of each other. So it's a lot of black women, and I guess black men too, talking about how nobody will hire them. And I get it. If you don't have the mind to really start your own business, or you don't have an idea, you don't know what to do, well, heck, if you like to talk, get on social media and make some money. Because if you have to have the right kind of mind to run a business. I'm not trying to be funny. Uh, But you can just get on social media. If you like to talk and you got things to say, just get on social media and just start talking. Okay. And a lot of these women do get on social media, TikTok and YouTube, making these type of videos, getting hundreds of thousands of views, talking about how ain't nobody gonna hire them. Okay, but you're getting probably a $15,000 check from YouTube by constantly telling somebody how you ain't got no job. Have you noticed that though? And honestly, I hate to say that. I see this with a lot of brown women, and I don't click on the videos because I don't want to hear stuff like that. Because when I constantly hear brown women, now I understand if you at a low point in your life. I'm not talking about being anybody can be at a low point in their life. I'm not talking about that right there. I'm talking about I've seen a lot of brown women on these thumbnails talking about how they live in their car and how they got fired from their job and all this stuff. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like some black women, yeah, they have true stories when it comes to that. But you have other black women who are just trying to get views, and I feel like black women have taken are at an all-time low right now. I think literally, energetically, everything. Black women are at an all-time low. Um, because a lot of these women that talk about how they're living in their car and how they do all this stuff and how they have to deliver um, and how they keep getting fired from their jobs. I noticed they get a lot of views on their channel. These ladies tend to have big channels and they get a lot of views every time they make those videos. A lot of them. I've seen some women who are really struggling. Okay, they really struggling. They not playing any games. You know, but then you have others who make content after content after content after content about how they live in their car, about how all this stuff happened with their job, and I'm like, you getting hundreds of thousands of views on your channel. You get millions of views per month. Is your channel monetized? Because that's a job. So you're getting paid to constantly talk about how you're struggling. You're getting paid more than the average person with a job. I just want to say that part right there. That I think black women have found a new hustle. Some of them are not in a bad position like they act like they are on YouTube, and some of them actually are. But a lot of them are not in a bad position like they act like on YouTube. A lot of them are getting money. It's like another side hustle to talk about how somebody treated them bad at their job or whatever. Um, yeah, and they get lots and lots of views from it, and people come and talk and criticize them or say whatever they want in the comment section. But when you're in the comment section, whether it's positive or negative, it's interaction and it's helping that person's channel. It's helping that person's video. It's bringing more views back to that video and more activity back to that video. And it's causing that person to get, even if you get online to call her a black bee or a hair-headed hooligan, whatever you want to get on there and say, you're communicating, you're interacting in the comment section, and it's helping out her videos and it's helping her to get checks. You know, um, but I want to say this though. I don't know why it is that what's going on with Black America that the Black Americans cannot build up communities like Mexicans have. And I'm going to hear a lot of excuses how they get a lot of money from the government, how Mexicans get all this money from the government and black people don't. Let me tell you something. If black people is not getting help like all the rest of these people, like Asians and Mexicans and all this stuff, they're not getting all this money. They're not able to borrow. It used to be a time when black people had their own banks and they never had to borrow from anybody. What happened to Black Wall Street? And I know it got burned down. And I know if black people decide to build like that again, it'll probably get burned down again. So then you're not allowed to build nothing in the United States of America. What did integration do for Black America? You're scattered out getting jobs at different areas, but now you're getting at a point where 300,000 or more people getting fired from their jobs, and you got a lot of black men and black women that are getting fired from their jobs. So you're scattered out getting jobs at these different places, but when they decide to fire you, they fire you. Mexicans don't have to worry about that. They have their own community. They build up their own communities. They have a right to hire each other. Yeah, they're gonna discriminate, but I haven't seen a day where there wasn't discrimination. I'll be honest with you. Even if it's against the law, it don't matter. People don't care about the law until the law is enforced. But my thing is, black people used to have a community before the 70s, and it seems like after segregation ended, black people scattered, and there was no sense of any kind of community, and something is wrong where you have to be segregated in order to have a sense of community and unity with each other. You have to be segregated and stuck with each other. So there's a problem with that, because you don't have to do that to Mexicans, you don't have to do that to Asians, you don't have to do that to any other group of people. They can integrate with everybody else, and they have their own sense of community in their mind. But what is wrong with black people that you have to segregate them from everybody else in order for them to work together? That means that's a community that need to be broken up. That's a community that need to be broken up. And I'm gonna end by saying this, because nobody else have to be segregated and ostracized in order for them to learn and work together. No other community have to be put through that. They love their community, even if they have their own infighting, whatever's going on. At the end of the day, they are going to make sure they have a strong nation. At the end of the day, they're going to make sure they have a strong nation. The black woman is the one that keep trying to hold on to the black community, and she can call herself a black woman all she wants to, but during the 70s, during Black Power, black was for the black man, not for the black woman. Now black women call themselves a black woman. But during the doggone Black Power movement and all that stuff, the black was for the black man, and black women did not have an identity. That's what black feminism was all about. Well, I don't know if that's what it was all about, but that was part of it, that they had no identity, you know? But yet and still, even though she continues to get treated like this, she continues to try to hold that community together. That's her fault. She wants to be these, and I'm gonna get back to the Chile and MAGA thing. However, how they had to cancel this tour because and I know it's a lot of black women. I know it's a lot of black women. Because who else, how many people would have gone to this doggone concert? It was Salt and Pepper with TLC. That would have been a whole lot of black women. Black men don't care that much about Chile being MAGA. They might have a complaint here or there, but they don't care that doggone much. Most of them are MAGA. So why would they care about her being MAGA? Okay? But black women still want to fight for this black man, and most of them are MAGA, and black women still want to fight for this black man, but they want to hop on Chile. The black community needs to be destroyed. It needs to be destroyed. I'm not going to feel bad about what the opportunities that other people are not giving to black folks. And I'm grateful for the things I have going on. Don't get me wrong now. But at the same time, listen, I'm not black. I'm not pro-black. I'm not a pro-black, and you can just call me a sellout, whatever. Because I realize I am in a nation where there is a lot of discrimination. I'm not going to be no pro-black person when the black community don't stick together. I'm not going to be dumb enough. A lot of these black women talking about how nobody wants the Mexicans, don't want to hire them. Well, you pro-black. Why can't you get a black person to hire you somewhere and pay you some money? You so pro-black. You probably one of the people that's mad at Chile because she MAGA, right? You pro-black. So get another black person to get you a job and stop messing with these Mexicans. How about that? But you can't do that. Why? Why can't you do that? Why can't you go ask another black person to hire you instead of messing with these Mexicans? Huh? You mad at Chile, aren't you? You're mad because Chile support Donald Trump? You think she should have supported black folks? You think she should have supported the Indian lady, Kamala Harris, that black women want to claim as black? If you want to be mad at Chile, then you go ask it. You all pro-black and stuff. Go ask another black person to hire you and leave all these Indians and Mexicans, Asians, leave them alone. Get the black people to help you since you're so pro-black. And you want to ban Chile and Salt and Pepper's tour. You want to boycott their tour because you mad at she MAGA, but ain't nobody going to help you out. You so pro-black. Turn against another black woman because of who she choose to support. But now you can't get no darn job from some white or Mexican person. Leave white people alone. You anti-white. You anti-everything else. You so pro-black, but you can't get a job from another black person. Okay? But anyway, that is it, and I will talk later.